the exhaustion secret we quietly accept. Think about how you felt when you first opened your eyes this morning. Did you feel a warm, welcoming surge of energy, eager to step out of bed and embrace the day ahead? Or did you instead feel a heavy, familiar weight pinning you to the mattress? A profound sense of exhaustion that made even the thought of brewing your morning cup of tea feel like a monumental chore? For millions of adults over the most beautiful milestone of 70, this lingering, heavy fatigue has become a quiet, permanent shadow. It is a deeply frustrating secret that we often keep to ourselves, or mention to our doctors only to be told. Well, what do you expect? You're getting older. We are conditioned to believe that crossing into our 70s means automatically signing a contract for a life lived in a permanent fog of low energy. But what if I told you that that story is entirely wrong? Persistent, exhausting fatigue is not a mandatory tax you pay to the clock. It is not an inevitable byproduct of a life well lived. When your body feels constantly drained, it isn't breaking down due to old age. It is sending you a highly intelligent, sophisticated signal that something deep inside your biology has shifted its rhythm. Your internal engine hasn't run out of fuel. Rather, the pathways that deliver that fuel have simply met with a few gentle obstacles. Today, we are going to look into the real, clinical reasons you feel tired all the time after 70, stripping away the complex medical jargon to reveal the beautiful science of your aging metabolism. More importantly, we are going to explore the effortless, life-changing adjustments you can make starting tomorrow morning to completely banish the fog and reclaim your vibrant, active independence. The cellular battery, mitochondrial pacing. To discover the root cause of chronic fatigue, we have to travel microscopic miles down into your body, straight into your cells. Inside almost every single cell in your body sit tiny, magnificent power plants called mitochondria. Their sole responsibility is to take the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe and convert them into a highly specialized energy currency called ADP. Think of ADP as the literal electricity that allows your heart to beat, your lungs to expand, and your legs to walk. As we journey through our 70s, our total number of active mitochondria naturally declines, and the ones that remain can become slightly less efficient, taking longer to generate that vital cellular electricity. Let's look at the detailed story of Thomas, a wonderfully active 73-year-old retired civil servant living in Sussex, England. Thomas loved spending his mornings restoring antique furniture in his backyard shed. However, over the course of a single summer, he noticed that after just 20 minutes of sanding a wooden chair, his arms would feel intensely heavy, and an overwhelming desire to sit down would take over. He felt deeply demoralized, believing his body was finally quitting on him. A longevity specialist explained to Thomas that his cellular batteries were simply out of sync. Thomas didn't need to push through the pain. He needed to support his mitochondria. He began incorporating small, nutrient-dense snacks rich in healthy fats, like a handful of raw walnuts and a few coenzyme Q10-rich foods, and shifted his schedule to engage in short, 5-minute bursts of gentle movement, followed by brief moments of deep, restorative breathing. Within a matter of weeks, Thomas reawakened his cellular energy production. He returned to his workshop, completing a beautiful oak chest of drawers with steady, reliable endurance, proving that when you nourish the cell, the body follows. The changing architecture of deep sleep. The second real reason for persistent daytime fatigue lies within the structure of your night. Many seniors over 70 will say, I don't understand why I am so tired. I am in bed for 8 full hours every night. But being unconscious in bed is not the same thing as achieving deep, restorative sleep. As our brains mature, our sleep architecture naturally shifts. We spend significantly less time in stage 3 and stage 4 slow-wave sleep, the holy grail of rest. This deep sleep stage is the exact window when your brain releases growth hormones to repair muscle tissues, calms your cardiovascular system, and activates its unique self-cleaning system to wash away metabolic waste. Instead, older adults spend more time in lighter sleep stages, waking up multiple times throughout the night, without even realizing it. Consider Margaret, a lovely 75-year-old grandmother from Ohio. Margaret was meticulous about her bedtime. She was under the covers by 10 p.m. and didn't rise until 6 a.m. Yet, she found herself falling asleep in her armchair every single afternoon while reading, feeling an uncomfortable mental heaviness that she couldn't shake. A comprehensive assessment showed that while Margaret was in bed for 8 hours, her deep sleep cycles were constantly being fractured by subtle changes in room temperature and a habit of watching the evening news right before sleeping. Margaret made a gentle adjustment. She moved her television completely out of the bedroom, lowered her thermostat to a cool, crisp 65 degrees, and began listening to soft, calming music for 20 minutes before closing her eyes. The transformation was profound. By deepening the quality of her sleep rather than focusing on the quantity, Margaret woke up feeling genuinely refreshed, leaving her afternoon sleepiness behind and reclaiming her bright, energetic mornings with her grandchildren. Silent dehydration and the blood volume drop, one of the most insidious, entirely overlooked drivers of chronic fatigue in older adults, is a silent, biological shift in our thirst mechanisms. As we cross the age of 70, the specialized receptors in our brains that detect dehydration naturally lose a portion of their sensitivity. Simply put, your body can be desperately craving water, but your brain fails to send the signal that makes you feel thirsty. When you enter a state of chronic, low-grade dehydration, your total blood volume drops. Because there is less fluid circulating in your system, your blood becomes thicker and harder to pump. Your heart has to beat faster and work twice as hard just to deliver oxygen to your brain and muscles, draining your energy reserves before you've even left the house. Think of Arthur, a 78-year-old former structural engineer from Melbourne, Australia. Arthur considered himself highly health conscious, but he realized he rarely drank pure water, preferring a morning coffee and a cup of black tea in the afternoon. He found himself plagued by a stubborn, daily afternoon fatigue that made his legs feel like lead weights. His physician suggested a beautifully simple diagnostic test. Drink a full, tall glass of water whenever the fatigue set in. Arthur agreed and went a step further, placing a visual reminder, a beautiful glass pitcher of fresh water with a slice of lemon, right on his kitchen counter every morning. Within just a few days of consistently hydrating his system, Arthur noticed an incredible surge of mental clarity, and a heavy, lead-like feeling in his legs evaporated. His heart no longer had to struggle against thick blood, proving that sometimes the ultimate cure for exhaustion is found right at the kitchen tap. The micronutrient gap, vitamin B12 and malabsorption. As we enjoy our later chapters, the delicate inner lining of our stomach naturally undergoes a process called atrophic gastritis, which leads to a gradual reduction in the production of stomach acid and an essential protein called intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor is a biological key required for your body to unlock and absorb vitamin B12 from the foods you eat. Vitamin B12 is the absolute cornerstone of your nervous system and the creation of healthy red blood cells, which carry energy-giving oxygen throughout your entire frame. You could be eating a perfectly balanced diet, but because of this hidden absorption gap, your body cannot access the nutrient, leading to a silent form of fatigue known as pernicious anemia. Let's look at the experience of Clara, an 82-year-old retired schoolteacher from Toronto, Canada. Clara ate beautifully, enjoying fresh vegetables and lean proteins every single day. Yet, she felt a profound, deep-seated exhaustion that left her feeling dizzy when she stood up, and she noticed a strange, subtle tingling sensation in the tips of her toes. She assumed it was just her body slowing down permanently. A simple, routine blood test by a caring doctor revealed that her vitamin B12 levels were dangerously low, despite her excellent diet, because her stomach could no longer absorb it through digestion. Under medical guidance, Clara began a targeted regimen of sublingual vitamin B12 supplements, which absorbed directly under the tongue, bypassing the stomach entirely. Within 3 weeks, the tingling in her toes completely resolved, and a wonderful, long-lost vitality surged back into her life. Clara realized her energy hadn't withered away due to age. Her cells were simply waiting for the right key to unlock their natural strength. The emotional drain of a shrinking world. Fatigue is never exclusively a physical phenomenon. Our emotional landscapes hold an immense, powerful sway over how heavy or light our bodies feel. As we enter our 70s and 80s, our social circles can naturally shift. Children move away. Retirement changes our daily sense of purpose, and it becomes incredibly easy for our world to quietly shrink. When we lack consistent, meaningful mental stimulation, deep social connections, or a compelling reason to get out of bed, our brains naturally turn down the production of dopamine and serotonin. the feel-good neurotransmitters that fuel physical motivation and alertness. A lack of purpose can masquerade as physical exhaustion, leaving you feeling profoundly tired even when your body has rested perfectly. Think of Evelyn, a lovely 76-year-old woman living in a quiet town in Wales. After her husband passed away, Evelyn found herself spending days on end sitting in her living room, watching old television reruns and feeling an all-encompassing, heavy fatigue that made even walking to the mailbox feel like an impossible mountain to climb. She believed she was physically declining. One afternoon, a neighbor invited her to volunteer for 2 hours a week at a local community garden, teaching young children how to plant seeds. Evelyn hesitated, feeling far too tired, but she pushed herself to go. The moment her hands touched the soil and she heard the laughter of the children, something miraculous happened. Her brain lit up with fresh purpose. She returned home from the garden not exhausted, but filled with a vibrant, buzzing energy she hadn't felt in years. Evelyn's physical fatigue dissolved the moment her emotional world expanded, showing us that a connected heart is the ultimate fuel for a strong body. Reclaiming your natural vitality and rhythm, listening to the signals of your body with deep intelligence and compassion, is the true secret to longevity. Chronic fatigue after 70 is not a life sentence, and it is certainly not something you have to quietly accept. Your body is an incredibly resilient, beautifully adaptive system that wants nothing more than to thrive, to move, and to celebrate life alongside you. As you step into tomorrow morning, remember that you hold the power to completely rewrite your energy narrative. Support your cellular batteries by giving them small, nourishing movements throughout the day. Honor your sleep by creating a dark, cool, and peaceful sanctuary. Hydrate your blood volume by drinking water before you feel the sensation of thirst. Address your micronutrient needs with the help of a trusted medical professional, and never underestimate the magnificent, life-giving power of a joyful purpose and a connected community. By making these gentle, highly intelligent adjustments, you are actively defending your physical freedom, clearing away the heavy fog of exhaustion, and ensuring that you can walk forward into the next 5, 10, or 20 years with unshakable, beautiful vitality. I would love to hear from you now. How often do you feel this heavy morning or afternoon fatigue in your own life? Have you discovered a simple trick or a daily habit that gives you back your energy? Please take a gentle moment to share your thoughts, your experiences, and your personal stories in the comments down below. Our community is a deeply warm, incredibly supportive space where we all listen, learn, and grow stronger together. If you found this comprehensive guide deeply informative and inspiring, please take a brief moment to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell so you never miss a guide to a vibrant, active, and fully independent life. Share this video with your close friends, your neighbors, and anyone you love who deserves to live their life with abundant strength. Thank you so much for your time today. Take beautiful care of your health and keep standing strong.